Look, I do not like being that guy, but there have been so many comments on this series so far saying, you should put an EM sense on Diluc, it's just better. However, not a single person has actually provided any source of information that confirms that is real, so I decided to do it myself. Here's the thing, and a big disclaimer here, damage calculation in Genshin Impact is really, really weird, and there are always going to be inconsistencies no matter how you try to do them. It's very hard to get a perfect number. This is as good as we're going to get, but there is room for error regardless. I just want that to be known, because that's just the way it is. How I've set this up is that I have taken our Diluc from the standard-only account. He is level 80, and I have entered his current teammates and their setups. So I've done it with Lanian running Veritas and Werner, which is going to give the debuff for Veritas and Werner, which is stated right here. I have put in Rosaria running an instructor set, you'll see this in a moment, which is going to give us the instructor bonus of 120 elemental mastery, and I have put Charlotte on a noblesse for now, just so that we have both support sets active for both tests, because realistically, both of these characters are not going to need noblesse, so I just gave instructor to the other one. We could swap instructor over to Charlotte, and it wouldn't matter that much. It would do the same thing. We are also going to be considering that every single hit in our calculation is a melt reaction. This does not actually happen in gameplay for us because of Charlotte, but for the sake of the calculation, we are going to presume that I play absolutely perfectly and never screw it up. We're also going to consider Cryo-Resonance, because most of the time we are going to have that. We are going to consider the Crimson Witch of Flame buff on himself, because that is what Diluc is running. And of course, the Instructor and Noblesse. Everything is now turned on so that you are aware that these are the bonuses we have. We are not going to be considering the Wolf's Gravestone effect, because most of the time it will not be live. We will, however, be considering Lanian's Constellation 4, which gives us 60 Elemental Mastery, and Rosaria's Ascension 4 with the maximum possible crit rate as if she was self-built. We will also not consider the Elemental Burst for the Pyro Damage bonus, even though it will most likely be live, but theoretically it shouldn't change anything about the actual calculation, because it doesn't have to do anything. So, I have also entered every single possible artifact that we have exactly as Diluc is standing right now, along with their weapon, and they will be striking the highest possible boss level that we have access to in the Spiral Abyss, just for sake of reasoning. Then on the right-hand side, we actually see the damage numbers. The normal attacks are based on just his attack alone, as they will not trigger any cryo or whatever, and they are not set to have physical damage. However, his elemental skill, as you can see, oh, you can't see when I hover over it, but it does say pyro/elemental skill, so it actually considers pyro damage, and elemental burst, which are the two numbers we will actively be looking for. Now you might go, wait, why aren't you looking at reactions DP damage? Because this does not actually include melt, because these are based on swirlable elements or bloom. So we don't care for reactions damage at all, other than shattered, but it's very rare that that would happen for us. So we're going to ignore this entirely. Melt, as you can see when I click this button, changes the elemental skill and the elemental burst damage, which is what we're actually going to be looking for. This first one here is with the attack sands, with the current stats that it has. So we're doing 14,436, 14,925, and 19,697 as our average for the elemental skill with an attack sands. For the burst, we are doing about 32k with the splashing damage. The dot is doing about 9,000, give or take, and the explosion is doing around 32k also. Now, I'm going to swap this attack over to Elemental Mastery, and whoa! Well, isn't that weird? The damage went down. Oh. Now ain't that strange? And as you see on the left-hand side there, it is increasing the pyro damage by a lot, but the average damage went down. Huh. Isn't that weird? It doesn't go down by a lot, mind you, but it does go down by, like, a fair bit. It's a couple of hundred. It's almost like, and hear me out here, when the team is properly built in endgame, Elemental Mastery doesn't matter. Now, I'm going to give you all in the comments the benefit of the doubt, because there is, in fact, one particular way that the EM Sans is the best option. And that is if Diluc already had 0 Elemental Mastery. In that circumstance, switching to the Elemental Mastery Sands is an attack increase by a fair margin, because it's about, like, I think it's like 800 or something, give or take. That is fair. But that also calculates for Diluc having no Elemental Mastery. So I removed Lanyan's Constellation bonus, I removed Instructor, I removed everything that would passively give him a bonus to his Elemental Mastery. The problem with this is that the actual border for Elemental Mastery to be considered useful is around 200. After 200, it falls off for Diluc really hard, because there's no reason for him to build any higher than that, because the melt multiplier just simply isn't high enough. But with absolutely no Elemental Mastery, it goes from 2.3 to 2.9. That is very relevant. But everyone in the comments seems to have just forgotten that we have two characters that already give him that base level off of just kind of existing if we choose to play Instructor. We don't need any M-Sands, as you saw, because it's menial at best. Alright? Can we get this out of the way? Can I start the episode? Cool. I regret to inform everyone, there's been a bit of a fucky-wucky situation. One of the recordings that I did for this episode right after I did the explanation of the EM Sands and all that actually got corrupted. So, thankfully, I noticed it before I did, like, way too much. But unfortunately, you missed today's wishing session, because that's basically what I've done. Let me go through exactly what's happened here. We had 13 wishes to spend before that I spent on this banner, and I don't think it's showed up on the history yet. I'll double check, but no, it has not. The only thing you need to know is that we scored ourselves 3 4 stars off of this. We got Sucrose's Constellation 1, which means she now has 1 additional charge of her skill, which is actually really, really good. We also got ourselves 2 weapons. We got 1 more Stringless that I put into a Refinement 3, and we picked up our first Favonius Greatsword. That is literally all that happened so far. I apologize profusely. Blame OBS and not me on this one, because I didn't do shit. What I also went over is the progress I've made, because this is, you know, the weekly show that I do, and this is more like a diary than anything else. Sucrose has now been leveled up to 80, but has not yet reached that level because of lack of experience books. Rosaria has also been brought up to the Ascension of 80, but again, lacks experience books, so it's fine. Charlotte has been left where she is, as I am planning to replace her sooner rather than later with a bit of luck. The Favonius Lance that Rosaria is wielding has also been leveled to 50. We have a new weapon thanks to the ongoing event in 6.0, or Luna 1 if you want to call it that, which is the Etherlight Spindalute, and this thing is actually insane for Sucrose. Normally, you would want Sucrose to be on an Elemental Mastery weapon like the Sacrificial Fragments, which I believe gives 235 Elemental Mastery at max level. Don't quote me on that because I'm not entirely certain, but it's somewhere around there. The good part now with the Spindalute is that it is an energy recharge weapon, which Sucrose really appreciates, and for 20 seconds after using their elemental skill, they gain 200 elemental mastery. Now that we have an additional charge of her skill, the reset of Sac Frags is way less relevant because we're always going to have 2. And she still gets elemental mastery off of this weapon and has a way easier time managing her burst up time. I'm actually really happy about this weapon, and I'm going to park it on Sucrose for now until we find someone else that might actively use it. Other than that, I ran around for a little bit as I realized that we could get 2 easy wishes off of the Sakura tree, because we are actually approaching a 5-star on the standard banner again. Before I did the 13 pulls that I had saved up due to the event, we were on 59 pity, which means at this point we are at 72. This is going to bring us up to 75, and obviously 77 is the average, so we might actually see a 5-star here. Thank God that I managed to pick up on the corrupted recording before I did this. Anyways, let's get in there and see what we get. We get a blue. Great. We'll do the next one. Blue again, presumably. Yep, we've been here. And blue again. Damn, okay. We're never getting, actually no, I'm gonna lie. We've gotten plenty of early 5-stars in this account. I should shut up. But we are in the reins for actually getting them now, which is very, very interesting. Anyways, today's plan, I don't, again, really have one. I think you basically picked up on the fact that I just kind of pick up this account and I do whatever I feel like. We should make some progress today, though. We have the Perilous Trail, which is very annoying because this is going to unlock the chasm. But we actually have to do the chasm in order to get Kuki's leveling material. Or we can proceed to do Yoimiya's quest, which actually would give us a lot of stuff. But then we'd have to go see Yoimiya, which I believe is this one. Yes, it is. I do love Yoimiya, though, so we could go do that. Do I feel like, you know what? I've tortured myself enough today. Let's go meet Best Girl. That's what we're doing today. Ah, yes, the dancing children. I never asked. Reading that sentence, Yoimiya is even making some weapons for us. She's gonna blow them up. That sounds like Yoimiya, alright. Real careful now. Careful now. Yoimiya spotted. Beep boop. Damn it! I did it again. Hi, Yoimiya. Jesus Christ, you are giving us the angles right out the bat, aren't you? Yoimiya, you shouldn't tease the children. Yoimiya, stop. You should not do this to the kids. Don't mess with them. Yoimiya, you sneaky bastard. You've done it again. We meet again. Don't you come over here looking at me like that. Actually, no, look at me like that. Look at me like that always. Damn it, Yoimiya, you've infected them with thoughts. Nya, nya, nya. Yoimiya, I absolutely adore you. I can't be mean to you. I can't be mad at this face. I can't. I got nothing. No need to pretend to agree if you didn't understand, Paimon. Why was there a random glittering star? That was weird. She's so goddamn pretty. Ah! I'm a little bit upset that she was never the best character in the game, because damn, she is not. But I still adore her with everything I've got. That is, that's a very pretty shot, actually. The sun just kind of hit that right. Nice. I could look at this goddamn smile for hours. Why did they make her so cute? I got stop. I honestly kind of like the little attention to detail that they did with Yoimiya's firework thing. That whenever they order fireworks from their family, they get a little paper slip that says exactly how that firework was made, so that they can recreate the firework hundreds of thousands of years later. I really like that as a little quip. And I'm gonna be honest, if they are to bring Yoimiya back into plot relevance ever, now that we have basically confirmed the whole idea that there is time travel shenanigans involved, more so than Venti just throwing it at us once or twice, I would honestly be really happy if they somehow brought back one of those paper slips, and the Yoimiya's family could just somehow realize that they had been connected some way. And like weird time travel stuff that would be funny. And also I just kind of want Yoimiya to come back. Please bring her back. This is the incorrect answer. The correct answer should be up here, and it should be yes in all capitals with at least 15 exclamation points. You can talk as much as you want. I would stand here and click through your dialogue for 4 hours if you gave me the chance to. Yeah, no shit, everybody likes her. She's the best girl. You know you've completely lost all control of your mental well-being when I don't even have much to say when Yoimiya is talking. I just kind of listen to the inflection of her voice, and it's so good. I don't remember the name of the JP voice actor. I'll put it on screen here somewhere. But, like, god damn, they hit it out of the park. Hang on. To track down an enemy god, or I'm looking for my lost brother? Nah, screw my brother. Enemy god. Ah, screw you, Paimon. I wanted to sound cool in front of Yoimiya. Why would you do that? I'm slowly learning to cope. Ever the optimist, aren't you? I also like that they brought this up once again here in Yoimiya's quest, because I commented on this back in, like, episode 3 or 4 or wherever it was, where Venti basically outright states that it is not the destination that matters, it's the journey to reach it. Yoimiya basically says the same thing. If you're too focused on simply reaching the end of the race, you'll miss everything along the way that made the race important in the first place. That's also why I'm not rushing this series in the slightest, and I made it more of like a weekly report thing, because it's just documenting my journey playing the game again under the weirdest set of rules that I've done it so far. Like, it is just enjoyable for me to not absolutely stress myself about, you know, getting all the story quests done and building the greatest team of all time or whatever. I just kinda enjoy the game, and you get to be along for the ride. Thanks, Yoimiya, for your words of wisdom. I would move in here immediately. Oh, add it to my list of candidates. She winked at me! Ah! We're seasoned crooks already. God damn. Yoimiya just straight up outing us as criminals over here. God, she is so adorable! Oh, I love that literally Yoimiya's quest is that we have to help them get rid of, like, weeds and stuff in their garden. Like, it's just cutesy things. Why is Yoimiya such a good person? It's unreasonable. No one's like this anymore. We live in a harsh world where everything sucks. We can't be having cute stuff like this, set unrealistic expectations. What am I supposed to do? Yoimiya, why do you have to be so unreasonably positive? I can't keep up with you! I feel like this quest, even though it follows the same tradition of, you know, introduce one of our characters, but we're actually helping someone else the entire time, which was the literal trope for story missions in early Genshin, I think all the way up until almost... No, I'd argue Fontaine actually suffers from this too. I think... No, even that land to some degree. I guess it's still the norm. I say this one does a very good job, at the very least, at showing off who Yoimiya actually is, more so than some other ones. Because she's always there, and she's kind of the one leading the entire thing, more so than just things happening all the time. Together under the fireworks. I still love this part of the quest, because... Ah, Yoimiya! Oh no, not the children again. Yeah! Unfortunately, I don't get to play the best girl, and it makes me so sad. I want to play her. Hang on, I'm gonna go over here. Oh, she has her weapon too! Oh, why won't you let me play the best girl? Don't hit her! That's it. Oh. I've got your mugshot! You're going to jail! Oh, fuck, oh god, game doesn't pause. Oh, shit! Oh god, they're hitting a journalist! That's it. I'm sorry, you're gonna bop, you're gonna bop, you're gonna die. 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 Die again. Oh god, there's more of you. Line it up and send him home. That worked. Nice. I wanna use Yoimiya so badly, but I can't. The purity of the account must be preserved. You know what they say, if you love something, let them go. Man, that saddens me. I just wanted to play Yoimiya. Why is she the mediator in all this? She's so goddamn determined. Do I have to play Yoimiya here? No, I get a second chance to cry. God damn it. Send him to hell. Send them to hell. And back. Wait, what the hell? Okay, I didn't expect it to work like that. I take it back. That's actually kind of badass. Good job, Rosaria. Send him to hell. Wait, was this line originally in this quest before Sumeru and Fontaine were released? Did they hint to Sumeru and Fontaine all the way back in 2 point whatever this was? Really? That's kind of impressive, if that's the case. He's speaking the truth. Yoimiya didn't just take over. She took center stage, stole every other actor's role, and just became the entire game. Just put her face on the desktop icon for Genshin Impact. I don't give a shit. We don't need anyone else than her. Please buff my Yoimiya, come on. We finally get to experience the best part of the game! Yeah, I don't like that it's raining, though. Hang on, I'm gonna resolve this. I refuse to have it raining. Go away, rain.
あれは。ケイスケ。
Look at her!
そうだよいみや、お前にとって花火って何なんだ？よいみや。うん。満足満足。あれ？ほんまに泣いとるかも？涙が見えとる。せや、最初あれが父ちゃんに頼む。それならよか。どこへ行っても何があっても不安を感じたり、きっと時が深まるほどせや、あんたらもすっかりうちのお客さんやな。ほな。でも花火を見てる時のよいみやは実は自分の作ったもんが空に上がるのを静かに見送る。
Also, this right here, this is probably just a power shot, honestly. I love this so much. There's just something ridiculously pretty about everything going on here. So you know what? I'm just gonna end the video here. Yeah, I don't care. I could look at this shot for literal hours. Realistically speaking, I might even use this as my desktop background for a while. It's just really good. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, even though it was an absolute scramble and a half, as they always are. I'll see you back here next week for hopefully the end of the Inazuma story quest, realistically, but I'm not entirely sure what I choose to do. You never know with me.